As I am sure that everyone is aware, this is the second time in 2 months that there has been an attempt on former President Trump. Now, this is not a diagnosis. I don't know this person, but in the next couple of minutes, I'm going to give you a very quick psychological breakdown of some of the traits that someone like this may have. And I'll be using a couple of components out of the Big Five model. So if you're ready, let's get going. So as I'm sure you're aware, a man was making an attempt at a golf course that former President Trump was playing on. Let me quickly show you what some of the personality traits of a person like this may be. First things first, he does consider himself to be an activist. His social media pages say these things. A lot of the emails and different types of communications that he has sent over the last several years would indicate that he's an activist. And there are 4 types of activists. There's the citizen, the reformer, the rebel, and the change agent. This man would fall under the rebel category, and it looks like this. Some of the things that a rebel in this category would do is they would value protesting, saying no to violations of positive, widely held values. So going against the grain a little bit. Nonviolent direct action and attitude. Now, this clearly was not nonviolent, but these are the tenets of people like this in general. So let's keep going. Demonstrations, rallies, and marches, including civil disobedience. Now, what are their targets? Power holders and their institutions, e.g. government and corporations. They tend to put issues and policies in the public spotlight and on society's agenda. Their actions tend to have strategy and tactics. They feel when they do this empowered, exciting, courageous, risky, and this is the center of public attention. Now, this is big. They hold relative, not absolute truth. The person with this type of a profile would hold to their truth or what they think is relevant to be the truth at the time, not an absolute truth, right and wrong, good and bad. So of the Big Five personality traits, today I'm just going to focus briefly on agreeableness and extroversion. And I will show you in a research paper how it is that these 2 things can combine to produce an opposition activist. How agreeableness and extroversion produce opposition activists. We argue that opposition activism in authoritarian regimes selects for individuals who are low in agreeableness and high on extroversion. Now, a person like this would consider Donald Trump to be an authoritarian. This type of a personality would see that the things that Trump stands for are things that they don't believe would be relevant for what they need and what they are looking for. So instead, they see him as an authoritarian, almost fascist figure. Now, let me show you the difference between a highly agreeable person and a person who is low in agreeableness. Highly agreeable individuals are considerate, warm, compassionate, generous, and arouse liking from others. By contrast, people low on agreeableness tend to be critical, skeptical, try to push limits, express hostility directly, and show condescending behavior to others. So if you've ever seen somebody that didn't want you to have an opinion about something if it was different from your own, that's what low agreeableness does. Now, what do these things combine to do? Watch this. When these things combine, they tend to marginally increase the likelihood to vote Democrat. So if somebody's angry at former President Trump and the visions that he holds and a platform that he runs on, this would actually fit perfectly. The good news is that the former president wasn't hurt, and it looks as though there may be justice coming. I know that it's difficult to paint a full picture with a brief psychological sort of a breakdown, and we don't really know enough about this person just yet to have a very informed position. All right, if you're still here, do me a favor, click on one of these other videos. I'll be back very soon in the next one. See you then!